Hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Briana Whiteside, and I create faith, fashion, lifestyle, and finance content. And so if you're here, I am hoping that you enjoy one or more of these topics. Before I get started, of course, as always, I want to encourage you to go ahead and like this video so I can get started in the algorithm so that people can become aware of the message in my channel. In today's video, I want to be a little bit light. I want to share with you all just a little recap of my recent adventure out of the country, and I want to talk about what people said to me before I went and also how I actually feel about solo traveling and things of that nature, because I think it's something that I travel a lot, but I don't think it's something that I necessarily really thought about until fairly recently, and so I want to talk about it with you all. So I recently took a solo trip to Puerto Vallarta. I don't know how to say it. I went to Mexico, and it was actually something that was really unplanned. At the beginning of the year, I wasn't thinking about going to Mexico, but I had an opportunity and a really great rate to be able to go, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to pass this opportunity up. Now, the time frame of when this opportunity came, it was like 30 days out. So of course I knew that I couldn't just spring this on my friends and expect them to go with me, but I didn't want to miss out on the opportunity. So I said, I'm just gonna go. I won't go by myself. I'm prepared. I'm ready. I don't want to miss out on this opportunity, and so I'm just gonna go alone. It's so funny because when I start to tell people like, yeah, I'm gonna go here, some people are like, oh, congratulations, that's so cool, let me know how it goes. But then some people are like, you sure you want to leave the country by yourself? See if somebody can go with you, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not going to superimpose. Like, I told my friends that I was going, the invitation is always open, but I also know that a lot of my friends have different financial obligations than I have right now. So I'm prepared to go by myself. And I think, sometimes people unknowingly try to put their fear on you, maybe, because they may not, necessarily have the courage to do certain things, so they're like, oh, I don't think you should do this. And in my mind, I'm like, if you don't give me a good reason as to why not, I'm probably not, I'm gonna take what you say with a grain of salt. And so as a single woman, as a woman who has prepared her life or prepared to live a certain type of way, that means that I have to do a lot of things solo. Sometimes God just springs things on me, which means that I have to be flexible. That's something that I've learned a hard lesson about this year, was the flexibility, because I'm someone who lives by systems and structures and by my planner, which is sitting right here. I live by a planner, so I know where my time is going and what I'm going to be doing on certain days, months, years. Like, I know my teaching schedule for next semester. I believe I also know my teaching schedule for the fall too, right? So I know generally what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm gonna do, so that I can plan my life accordingly. But what God has been challenging me with is being flexible, being open to, the experiences that he wants me to have, but also open to his calendar, because, we have a calendar, but God also has a calendar too. And sometimes we're so inflexible that we miss out on the things on God's calendar, which 9 times out of 10 are generally better than the things we necessarily wanted. But sometimes we're just so inflexible. We're unflexible. We don't bend. So that has been a lesson that I've been learning all year. And so when this opportunity came, I was like, yes, I have the resources. I have the time. I may not have anyone to go with me, but I am prepared to go. Therefore, I'm going to go. Now, I'm not going to say that I was totally like excited to go alone. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I was like 8 excited to go alone, because I like to do things that a lot of people don't like to do on vacations. When I go on vacation, I want to go to sleep and eat. That's all I want to do. And the reason why I want to do these things is because I do so much when I'm not on vacation. I've traveled every month this year. Every month. Starting in January. And I'm not pressed. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm tired. So this opportunity came. I was like, yes, I'm going to eat and sleep. I don't care about going on an adventure. I just care about resting and recovering. That's what this trip was about, resting and recovering. So I was excited to actually just do what I wanted to do, not have to worry about appeasing anyone else or considering what anyone else wanted to do. I was able to just say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm gonna do. I slept for hours, y'all, 13 hours. I took naps. I wake up, ate, enjoyed some sun, went to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I did all of these things. And it was so peaceful. It was so lovely. There were moments where I was like, I wish someone was here with me, but they were kind of far in between. You know what I mean? And so ultimately, I feel like it was a good experience. And I feel like I would do it again because, you know, sometimes we put our lives on hold because we don't have certain things. And I promised myself that I would not wait to be married or to have children or wait for anyone else to experience moments with me if I was capable to experience them myself. Some people may say that's, you know, selfish, but I say, like, no. God has me unmarried and without children right now for a reason. But that doesn't mean that I can't live my life and enjoy what, you know, the season that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? While I have the mobility, while I have the flexibility. And so I just had to reject other people's fears just because they had never done it and they don't think that they can do it. Don't mean that I can't do it and haven't done it. And I have done it and will continue to do it until, you know, it's no longer my season to do it. I really liked it. I really did. And, you know, if you have never taken a solo trip, I want to just encourage you to take a solo trip if you can. To reconnect with yourself, to rest, to recover. I think that's so important, especially in the seasons that we've been in. People have experienced so much trauma to their person. Like, you know, even before the pandemic and things of that nature, people have experienced so much trauma and turmoil. And then we add that, you know, the experience of 2020 and even the effects that are still, you know, happening right now. A lot of folks want to catch their breath, but they've been so conditioned to keep going. And they used to be me. I used to be the girl on the hamster wheel, running, keep going, grinding myself into the ground in the name of success, in the name of whatever else that I was trying to achieve. And I was unhealthy. I was largely unhealthy. I was unhappy with my life. And I think one of the major reasons why I was unhealthy is because I was trying to play God. Working 2-3 jobs, teaching, going to school, like all of these things. I did not create space for God to be God in my life. I did not create space for rest, because rest is biblical. I thought that I was going to have to work 14 days straight, like trade my health for time, for money. That is not the way, and I didn't expect to go this way, but that is not the way that God wants us to live. That is not the way that he wants to live. But some of us, we allow all of these other external circumstances to rob us of the life that God wants for us. As a woman who's unmarried right now, I would be foolish, and this is no shade if you cool with this, it's just me, I'm not. I would be foolish not to experience life because I didn't have anyone to experience life with. I would be foolish for that. I know a lot of people who are married right now. They got married younger than people I'm connected to. And something they always say is, you need to, I wish I would have traveled more. I wish I would have done this more before I got married. I wish I would have done all these things. And they would tell me, you need to travel more. And I'm like, well, I've traveled every month. How much more you expect me to travel? And they'd be silent, right? Because you didn't travel more. You didn't do these things. You didn't experience life to the fullest in your singleness. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to do that. So I fully intend to have a lot of first experiences until God says, now it's time for you to come on out of this season, because I've called you to another level. And so I'm so grateful that I had that experience. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to probably trying to go again, not necessarily to Mexico, but out of the country again, because I want to. Just because I want to. I think that's a beauty that we kind of overlook people who are unmarried, right? And I'm getting ahead of myself, but I gotta go here. Like, live your life. Live your life. This is your life. When I was unhappy with my life, and I used to have these conversations with my mom about it, and she would too explain that there were moments in her life where she was unhappy, and she would say, like, I hate my life. And she said that she heard God say, is this the life I chose for you? Sometimes we're living a life that God didn't even choose for us. Sometimes we're living a life that someone else wants us to have. I've had that experience. Trying to live my life according to what people say a doctor should do or should not do, what a Christian should do or should not do. I've tried. I used to be a people pleaser, and I realized that my life was doing exactly what I set it up to do, but what I couldn't figure out was why I was so unhappy with it. And I was so unhappy with it is because it wasn't the life that God had ordained for me to live. It was the life that I had constructed based on the opinions of others, based on what I saw, not based on who God created me to be in my particular destiny. And I was unhappy with it. And this was in 2019 when I had that come to Jesus moment, and I had to start working backwards, starting to do a lot of stuff. And a lot of people were mad. They was mad, but they got over it. Because I could not live my life based on the opinions of other people. Because at the end of the day, I was responsible for my happiness. I was responsible for living or walking out the destiny that God ordained for me. Do you think God was going to ask them at the end of at the end of the road, when we get up to heaven and we meet the Lord, you think he was going to ask them why I didn't, live the life that he gave for me? No, he's going to ask me, why didn't you do this? And I bet not fix my mouth. I dare not fix my mouth and say, well, all of these other people said this and what did I say? He'll say, what did I say? What did I say you can have? You lowered yourself, right? I did not mean to go that route, but I feel like someone needs it. I enjoyed a solo trip. I enjoy a lot of my alone time, and I enjoy, where God has me. And I'm going to continue to do that. And so, friends, if you've been considering taking a solo trip, take it. Don't take on the fears of other people as your own, because they are limiting. And generally, a lot of people's words are based on their experiences, because they've never experienced certain things. So I just wanted to share that little bit. I want to share that little bit. I want to encourage you to take a solo trip, and let me know if you're planning on taking a solo trip, or even if you want to take one, where would you go? I'm looking for new trip suggestions. Let me know in the comments, where are you planning on going, or what's your dream location? What is your dream destination? Share with me in the comments. And that's all I have for you. I will see you in the next video. Of course, if this encouraged you, like, share it, subscribe to the video, to the channel, and I will see you soon. Bye.